Hey guys, welcome back to the Traveling Teachers series. My name is Ollie. In episode 4, we talked to Miranda about starting an English institute here in Bolivia and what kind of things employers look for in teachers. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video to stay updated with the Traveling Teachers series and my life here in South America. Let's get to it. Okay, how's it going, Miranda?
Hey, how are you, Ollie?
Welcome. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Good, thank you.
All right. Why don't you tell us who you are and where you're from?
My name is Miranda. I'm from the UK and I am the ESL segment manager at Twinkl.
Awesome. Okay. Miranda and I used to work together back in 2011 and she was my boss here in Bolivia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have to throw that in. Tell us a bit about what you do at Twinkl.
Okay, great. So it's basically my job to help English teachers have a great time teaching. And I make sure that they have all of the resources that they need and give them top tips as well to help them teach. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're quite active on Facebook and LinkedIn, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And you have a YouTube channel as well.
I do, Twinkl ESL, that's right.
Twinkl ESL. We'll leave that in the description bar for everybody. And you were telling me before that Twinkl's free in South America right now?
Yes. So because of all of the school closures, school shutdowns, Twinkl decided to make everything on site. So that's about 650,000 resources free across South America for absolutely anyone. Yeah. So you can download anything from, ebooks to whole schemes of work and phonics and everything like that. It's totally free. Yeah, it's also free in India as well, if anyone's listening from India.
India, there you go. South American India. And how do people get a hold of, how can they sign up for Twinkl?
Sure. So all you have to do is go to www.twinkl, that's without an E at the end, .com. And you have to use a code that's specific to your country. In South America, basically all of these are Educa Juntos, and then the first two letters of the country. So for example, in Argentina, it's capital AR, in Bolivia, it's BO. But if you have any questions about how to get the code, you can always come along to the Twinkl ESL Facebook group, and I will make sure you get your free access.
Yeah, we'll put Miranda's details in the description so that you can contact her through there. Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, just follow the link and I'll help you out.
Let's go back to the start of your ESL journey. Why did you become an ESL teacher?
Yeah, I think kind of selfishly, I just wanted to travel and live all over the world. And so teaching ESL was a way to get away with doing that. And it was only when I started teaching ESL that I realized, actually, I really love this. And I started started teaching for the love of it rather than just to travel.
Yeah, you and me alike, I think. Yeah. You slowly fall in love with it. The more you teach, the more you get to know people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you where have you taught English? Because you've taught in like different continents, right?
Sure. So my first ESL job was in Tanzania, where I was there for almost a year. And then I was in Bolivia for nearly 8 years. And I've also taught a little bit, private classes and things like that in the UK as well. So 3 different continents so far.
Yeah, great. And what ESL qualification do you have, or what one do you recommend people do?
Yeah, I got the CELTA from the Bell School in Cambridge, which was absolutely fantastic. And I always recommend that. I think I recommended to you, Ollie, to go and get your CELTA. It's what I always look for in applications because it really is going to give you a really good foundation as a teacher.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you said you first went to Tanzania to teach. Tell us about that experience, because I think a lot of people don't really think of Tanzania as like your first destination to travel abroad. Tell us about it.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
I heard about a job through a friend of a friend who said, okay, there's this family, they need a tutor to go and homeschool their kids on an avocado farm halfway up a volcano. like in the jungle in Tanzania. So I think I talked to them once for like 10 minutes on the phone and then just got a flight out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Was a bit, wasn't it? To go and homeschool these kids. And then while I was there, there were, you know, loads and loads of workers on the avocado farm who speak Swahili and wanted to learn, you know, wanted to improve their English. So I started doing a bit of tutoring them as well in the afternoons and the evenings. So that was my first ESL, like proper teaching job.
So you basically just got it because people were like, oh, she speaks English, let's learn English.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just talking to people and yeah, just being friendly, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. And so after Tanzania, you then moved to the beautiful country called Bolivia, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why? Yeah, where I speak from right now, I'm still here. You hired me and I'm still here.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to come to Bolivia of all the countries in the world?
Well, I really wanted to go to South America when I was 16, and I just thought it was the most spectacular place that I'd ever been to. And I started off thinking about, like, when you're researching jobs in South America, you start by thinking about like Buenos Aires, Santiago, like all the like cool big cities. And then I heard actually people say that these places were quite European. And it was just like being in Europe. And I thought, you know, what's the point? If I'm going to go to South America, I might as well go to like the most South American place of all. And that is Bolivia. And so I was lucky. I speculatively applied for jobs. I just sent emails to basically every single school in Bolivia and got a job.
And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
And then did the same thing, just like got on a plane, had a 10-minute phone call, got on a plane, went there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can definitely say that Bolivia is like the most South American place in South America that I've been. I mean, I've been to Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay, and definitely like the city that you used to live in and that I live in, Santa Cruz, is so South American. It's amazing. I love it. It's so good. After how many years of teaching in Bolivia did you then decide to start your own institute?
So we started the institute after I'd been in Bolivia for 3 years. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And why did you see it necessary to have your own native English speaker institute in Santa Cruz?
I think you could see that there was a real need for a level of quality, like consistent quality of teaching that wasn't really available in other institutes. And I really, me and Joe, who's the other co-founder of Language Connection, we really wanted to create something where we kind of selfishly, we really didn't compromise on how good, you know, the experience would be for the learners at all. We wanted to make something that would be, you know, if you went to an English institute in the UK or Canada or Australia, it would be the same quality. And we could see that there was you know, lots of people out there who were looking for that kind of thing. So we just decided to go for it. Yeah,
absolutely. And when you first started, were there many challenges or obstacles? Like, did you need to speak Spanish, or did you find people to work for you? Like, what was the? I can see your face. Just
yeah. I mean, I think there was just neither of us had any business experience at all, and Bolivia is a really, really difficult place to start a business. I think the World Bank ranks countries by how easy it is to start a business in that country every single year. And Bolivia is like right down there with like Eritrea and Iraq. I mean, it really is terrible.
Is it really that difficult?
It's really that difficult, yeah. Just because of like, just this, you know, crazy socialist labor laws and all of the instability. I mean, like Bolivia has the record for a number of political coups in the world, which like I think you've experienced too already.
I have, yeah. I have. Crazy, right?
Like that, it's all that kind of stuff like makes it a little bit harder. So like we didn't know really what we're doing, and so we spent a lot of time being like, oh, we don't know what we're doing. Yeah, and it was super hard work, but well worth it in the
I was
end.
going to say totally worth it, right?
Yes.
I think Language Connection is 5 in January or December, which is
Yeah.
awesome, which is great. And do you have any advice for like people who want to start their own business? They're in English school in any country. Like what did you learn that you wish you had known before you started? Big question.
I think we had really good contacts who ran a business, and they really helped us like hook us up with the right people to get in contact with in terms of just getting the basic stuff done. I think a key thing is you have to really understand what people want from an English institute in their area and know that you can do that for them better than anyone else. So find your niche in the market that you can deliver for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what do you think the niche was in Santa Cruz? What set you apart from the competition?
I think the quality of the school, the quality of the teachers. I mean, you guys are the best teachers in South America.
Stop that.
You know, you're lovely and you care so much about your students, and you are so up to date on how to teach. Your methodology is fantastic, and that's, you know, where the basis that's really, that is what the institute is built on. It's that, having that amazing team, and it's hard to build up a team that good, you know. But that's what I think. That's what our students love about Language Connection. It's the teachers.
Absolutely. And actually that goes on to my next point, talking about your role at the Institute. What was your role, like your date when you were here in Bolivia? Because you've been gone, you left in June or July 2019, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so about almost 18 months, more or less.
Yeah.
I know, it seems like so long ago.
Does it? It doesn't seem that long to me. Oh, yeah.
We miss you. What was your like day-to-day role at the Institute?
Yeah, so obviously when you start a business, your role is very different to when, you know, you're starting to like manage the day-to-day. So by the time you were there, my role was, well, I was still teaching pretty much full time. And then the two areas of the business that I looked after specifically were the operations. So just making sure that we had everything we needed, from books to tables to boards to cakes, quite a lot of cakes.
Yeah.
And then also doing the HR. So that's finding the best teachers and persuading them to come to Santa Cruz, Bolivia.
Speaking about this is like, sorry, say again?
And looking after them when they got here as well.
You've definitely looked after me so much. I was so naughty. I was such a mess in my first 6 months here.
No, you're living it up.
No, I definitely recommend, if you're looking for a job in a country that you don't speak the language, because I didn't speak Spanish back then, definitely look for a school where the directors or the person in charge of HR is going to like support you. They're going to be like your aunt or your mum overseas. Yeah. And I definitely think that I always like recommend that to people whenever they're looking for a job. Look for a school that's going to help you. If you don't speak the language, because, you know, as you said about Bolivia, it's really hard like to get a visa here. There's so many processes. I've gone back and forth to immigration so many times, and you know, I'm so thankful and lucky that I've got great directors that, you know, first of all speak Spanish and are willing to help.
Yeah, I mean, we know exactly what it's like, and so I think that helped us in supporting you guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've spoken a bit about like the teachers like CELTA qualified and the fact that they're amazing. But what, like when you are looking for people and you were reading through CVs and resumes and interviews, what type of teachers were you looking for? Or what type of teachers do you think English institutes look for in general?
Yeah. So I usually read every CV quite carefully, and then I divide it into 3 piles. So I have like my top list, my reserve, and then my like no way pile as well. And it that is quite a time-consuming business, because every time I would post a job advert, I would get hundreds of applications. I mean, literally hundreds. So the first thing I would look for, the very first thing is this candidate CELTA qualified? If they're not, then they're not going to get into my like pile.
Before you continue, is there an equivalent to CELTA?
Yeah. So Trinity TESOL as well, I would consider equal to that. And, you know, like some, you know, if they have a master's in TESOL as well, like obviously there are some equivalents. But yeah, CELTA or equivalent or above, that's the first thing I look for. And then I think the second thing is potential. So are they the kind of person who like goes out there and does extra? Are they adventurous? Have they done extra like activities and things outside of the minimum? Because I think when you're hiring for a school that's somewhere like Bolivia, you don't just need them to be a great teacher. You need them to be able to cope with moving to Bolivia and not have a total freak out. So someone who has a bit of experience, maybe traveling, who's, you know, done something a bit, who's obviously confident and curious about the world, that is something I look for massively. So I think that kind of person has a huge amount of potential. And I would look for that even above teaching experience sometimes, because the teaching experience you can help them with, you know, you can guide them with you can guide someone to become a better teacher, but you can't guide someone to confident and friendly. It's hard to make them confident and friendly.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I arrived in Bolivia with 0 teaching experience. I think the reason I'm here is because I saw an ad on your Facebook page and you took a risk on me. I didn't even know what the CELTA was before you were like, hey, Ollie, yeah, come and work with us. So I did the CELTA, had a great time, you know, the most stressful month, but the most rewarding month. And then you throw in the deep end and it's great. Yeah.
And luckily, I mean, Joe, who's, you know, one of the co-directors now of Language Connection, you know, particularly, he's so good at training other teachers and showing them the ropes. So yeah, I mean, we can afford to take someone who's maybe a bit less experienced, but like has the potential, like you, to become an amazing teacher.
No, I was going to say that, you know, Language Connection works as an institute because each of the directors, there's, there was, I think you're still part of it, but there's 2 right now. And when Miranda was here, there was 3 and each had different responsibilities. And I think like as an institute, it worked well because, the people had different responsibilities and you could go and, you know, you can learn the academic side off one of them. And then another one can help you like go to the doctors or something like that.
Oh, yes.
So you left Bolivia, you know, a year and a half ago almost. Yeah. What do you miss about Bolivia and the day-to-day bustle and hustle of running the institute and Bolivia in general?
I think with Bolivia in general, it just sounds really strange, but the markets, I love the like noise and the heat and being close, like that, like close, like almost chaos, but not quite chaos. I really love that.
I do too, but it's really overwhelming.
Yes, it is for sure. And I miss I don't know, I miss the people, obviously, you know. I have some great friends in Bolivia and I miss catching up with them. Yeah, you know, absolutely. Going out for a burger Saturday night.
Do you have any advice or recommendations for teachers who might be a little scared or a little bit worried to teach and travel? And why should they just go for it?
I mean, yeah, I think living in another country is something that everyone should do at some point in their lives. It's so different to just visiting a tourist site, taking a selfie and then going home. You actually build meaningful connections and long-lasting friendships with people from all over the world, and it will open your eyes to so much. And I think it really, like, oh, so cheesy, Ollie, it really made me into the person that I am today.
This is what it is. This is all about cheese. I love it. Aw, that's so sweet.
I would have been insufferable if I hadn't gone abroad. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, absolutely. And and do you see yourself in the future, like, I don't know, starting another school or coming back to Bolivia, or what's the future for you? Obviously, you're at Twinkle now.
I'm at Twinkle. Twinkle, I mean, obviously everything is remote working at the moment, but my boss says I can remote work as long as I need to for years and years. So obviously now, you know, I don't know. I'm quite lucky because my partner also has a job where he could potentially travel. You know, while his kids are still young, you know, things are going to be more settled, but maybe when we're a little bit older, we might go live in different countries again. That would be fun.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds great.
You know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I still haven't lived in Asia. So
that's on the list.
Maybe that would be on my list. But
hey, watch my interview with Melinda about teaching English in Vietnam.
yes, oh, I will. That video sounds great. But as far as like starting another company goes, I don't know. I think if I saw it's I don't feel like I have to do it again. It's just more like if you see that like there's a need and you're like, yes, I can do that. Then maybe I would.
I mean, sounds like a big job.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget you can catch Miranda all over Twinkle Facebook and YouTube page. She has some really good videos about pronunciation and different ways to adapt to online classes. So thank you so much, Miranda. Your insight has been so much fun.
No, thanks for inviting me onto your show. It was really fun.
No worries. I just realized how weird that sounded. Think your insight has been so much fun. It's been very useful. Thanks again. And yeah, don't forget to check out the other videos in the Traveling Teachers series. I interview teachers from all over the world about their experiences. So thanks, Miranda, for joining us for this episode.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.